Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pentiment. So in the last episode we went down to the salt mines to learn more about the history of Tasing, and more specifically the pagan and Roman history, and we learned some quite interesting things down there, and we got some ideas that what to depict on the mural. And then after that we wrote some letters to Brother Matthew and asked him about the history of the Kiersau abbey, and he told us some things, but naturally he couldn't tell us too much. And unfortunately, most of the records were burned down with the abbey as well, that many years ago. But he advised us to go and talk to the Poor Clares at the convent and see if they have some records stored in there, because the convent was spared from the fire. And yeah, so that's my plan for this episode. We are gonna go to the convent and ask if they know anything about the Kiersau abbey's history, and also ask if what was her name, the nun. Sister Gertrude. Yeah, then we are gonna ask if Sister Gertrude could try and translate this one book that we have that's in Latin, the book that Martin Bauer stole from the Baron many years ago. So yeah, but before that, let's actually go to the rat house first, because we did work on the mural, but we didn't actually get to see that. Nah, we didn't actually get to see the work that what Magdalene has accomplished so far. We didn't get to see that. So let's see what she has done. Oh, we can't see it. We can't pull these down, apparently. Okay, I guess we'll get to see the end result of all the murals at the end. Alright, that's fair. That's fair. Okie dokie. So. Apollo, what are you doing here? Screw off, Magdalene. Yeah, okay, he's still pissed at us. Okay. That was expected. Alright, so now let's go to the convent and search for Sister Gertrude. Oh. We have Martha and Carl here. Can we talk to them, or are they busy? Hey, Magda. But it's still so beautiful here, Martha. One more moment. Alright, take your time. What are they doing? Oh, hello, Magdalene. Dad, look who it is. Oh, so that's it. That's her dad, okay. Good morning, Mistress Truckerin. Hello, Martha. Carl, how are you today? On our usual walk around town, November hasn't grown too cold yet. Dr. Stoltz says Dad needs to keep using the leg or the pain will get worse. And I'm getting old. Not so old you can sit around at home telling stories. You listen to your daughter, Carl. You're about the same age as my dad, aren't you? Well, his beard is not fully grey. Hasn't he earned a rest? Well, listen to your daughter, Carl. You young girls think you are my keeper, is that it? I have always been your keeper, Dad. No arguments from me there. Sounds like you have Martha to thank you for your health. You're in a good mood today, I see. Plenty of reason to be. Tasing never ceases to be beautiful to me. Isn't the meadow a wondrous sight, even in this season? On days the Lord strengthens me, I like to go in a bit high up the mountains. Used to admire the view with Anton from there. Anton, who was that? Yeah, okay. Ah, Anton, my poor boy. Oh, he's dead, I guess. It's alright, Dad. You still miss your son? Well, that's a kinda silly question, but we're gonna ask anyway. I think about him every day. I can't. It's my fault that he died. It's not, Dad. You know it's not. He shouldn't have been with me that night. He shouldn't have. Oh, the night of the rebellion. I was a fool. What happened? I know I was there, but all I remember is the flames. What a fire it was. The whole abbey engulfed. I was bleeding. Anton tried to drag me out of the fight. Then that godforsaken Landsknecht has stepped between us. I hope he burns in hell. Is it that Landsknecht? Well, we know what Landsknechts are. They are the German mercenaries from the Holy Roman Empire. But was it that Landsknecht we played some cards with? I can't even imagine what that was like. How old were you during the revolt, Martha? Isn't she about the same age as us? 7 or so. I didn't understand what was happening. Someone brought Dad home in the middle of the night. It was dark, confusing. There was screaming outside. Mom and a couple of the men who brought Dad in were trying to patch up the wound, but it wouldn't stop bleeding. She kept shouting, "Where's Anton? Where's Anton?" There was blood on the floor. You cried so much you threw up. We couldn't get you to stop. I couldn't understand where Anton had gone. Dad tried to explain, but... Martha, my dear, enough of that. I'm so sorry. How did you go on? Did I? I don't know. Some nights I think I am there still. The abbey is always burning. My Helena passed not long after. I was left alone with Martha to care for. May the Lord bless and keep her. As he keeps your mother, Magdalene. I had to keep going for Martha, and somehow my daughter grew into a wonderful woman despite it all. I suppose that was all Helena's doing. Dad? If I'm any good, it's because of you. Thank you for telling me about the night, Carl, Martha. I'm sorry I asked you to relive all that again. And yeah, I was thinking that, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have brought this thing up, but I'm sorry I brought it all up. No, it needs to be told. We can't let people forget. Not here, not anywhere else. The abbey burned, people died. We have to remember, and our children have to remember, because when no one remembers any longer, then they will all truly be dead. It's time we continue with the walk, Dad. Yes, dear, I'm feeling much more alive now. Be well, you two. Okay, well that was something. Well, now let's go to the convent. I should talk to Sister Gertrude since she was a Benedictine nun at Kiersau before the Poor Clares arrived. She would be able to tell me about all about the convent's history for the mural. Yeah, that's the plan. That's why we came here. And there she is. Nice. There's really no one else in here, and they don't even grow any herbs here anymore, apparently. Sure, let's pet the cat. Shame that we can't pet the kitty here. Pet son of Mousefanger. Oh, that one is so cute. Okay, well let's talk to Gertrude. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, sister. I have a favor to ask of you. Of course, Magdalene. I'll help however I can. I have a book, the Historia Tassiae, and I can't read it very well. Can you help me translate it? Oh, I'm afraid my Latin isn't good enough to translate something like that. Its grammar structures are far too complex. I'm sorry, Magdalene. Okay. That's alright, sister. I'll have to find another way. Well, we can go and talk to Dr. Stolzten. There was one more thing, if you don't mind. It's about the Rathaus mural. Oh, did you need more paint? I believe I have enough gold stored away. No, thank you, sister. I have more than enough paint. I wanted to ask you about the history of Kiersau, actually. I would like to include the abbey's founding and history of Tassing's saints to the Rathaus mural. I wrote to Reverend Matthew since he lived at the abbey, but wanted to see the place firsthand. Ah, Brother Matthew became a reverend, did he? He was always suited to such a role. But I don't suppose that's what you came up to the hill for. You are curious about the saint's history, yes? Yes, I was hoping you could show me around the convent and tell me about its history. The Poor Clares don't allow outsiders within the convent, even other women. Mother Francisca wouldn't like anyone coming in for such a worldly concern. I understand. Well, that makes my job difficult. Ah, that old bag. Well, that makes my job difficult. Let me finish, Magdalene Truckerin. However, Mother Francisca always welcomes those who are considering joining the order. Ah. If a young woman sincerely considered joining the convent, she may be allowed to enter and observe the sisters. Who knows what else she may discover while contemplating the holy life, Okay. So we have to make this decision whether we want to join the order or not. Oh, could we use Martha? I mean, Martha wanted to join the order. Can't we just use her? Ah, yes, I see. Well, I suppose exploring all of my options can't hurt. I have always been drawn to your veil, sister. There's something about the fashion. Well, I suppose exploring all of my options can't hurt. Joining the convent will take some time. Would you like to go see Mother Francisca now? Well, let's see. Do we need to do anything else? We need to go and talk to Dr. Stolch and ask him if he can translate the book for us. But that may also take some time, assuming that we don't just give him the book and he just translates it for us. You know what? Sure, let's go. Mother Francisca, I would like to introduce Magdalene Truckerin. The printer's daughter, yes. God bless you, Magdalene. Father Thomas told us of your father's condition, and we pray for his recovery daily. Oh, thank you, Abbess. I didn't know you had heard about that. Well, thank you, Abbess. Such is our duty to serve the Lord and the community that provides for us. No, what is this about, Sister Gertrude? You know our holy rules. Why bring young Mistress Truckerin to me? Forgive me, Mother. Magdalene is searching for a place in the world and is contemplating the holy life. I thought observing the sisters might aid her in her spiritual search. She was encouraged by the idea. Right, yes. I wonder that you have never come up to the abbey before, Mistress Truckerin. If God is calling you to the convent, I am more than willing to help you fulfill that divine cause. What brought this change on? Why are you interested in joining the Poor Clares? Oh god. I'm worried that helping my father, running the shop alone and finishing the mural are too much for me. Well, if I became a sister, I won't have to marry, which is far better than being stuck bearing kids for the rest of my life. Lie. I had a holy vision. Saint Sachia told me that I was destined for higher things. I don't really like lying in video games, really, because I don't see much of a point in them most of the time. Well, let's just say that I am worried that helping my father running the shop alone and finishing the mural are too much for me. Magdalene, you should not abdicate your worldly duties for fear of the unknown. However, I agree that work in a printing shop and painting are not suitable duties for a woman. Well, gee, thanks. Thank God you have turned to us for help. It is no wonder you have left overburdened by all of this. Please, come. I am happy to tell you more of our order. Our small convent used to be part of the larger Kiersau double monastery, as I'm sure you have been told by Sister Gertrude. So wait, are we now inside the... No, this cannot be the abbey, because it got burned down. We must still be inside the convent. And besides, the abbey is in ruins. However, the Poor Clares live far differently than the Benedictines that once lived here. We believe that it is not ours to produce, and live solely on the alms of the community of Tasing as they see fit to give. Likewise, none of the sisters here own any personal property. Commies. We share this convent as a gift from the church. We believe that the Lord called us into a life of poverty and service. Does such a life appeal to you, Magdalene? I'm not entirely certain yet. I would like to explore and look around, get a feel for the place. Magdalene, you must not have understood me. We have deliberately closed ourselves off from the world. I won't have a lay woman bothering the sisters from their duties or disturbing our rule. However, I will allow Sister Suzanne to show you our duties. Please take your time. When you have finished, please come find me, and we will discuss your decision to join. Well, she hurried off very fast. Finally, I thought she would never finish. What? Truthfully, I'm not here to join the convent. I'm looking for references for a mural. I'm painting in the rathouse. Well, I'm going to take a look around. Where are we going first? Now that the lecture is over, I can get on with what I came here for. Are you coming? Well, where are we going first? The convent has many parts. The kitchen, the locuarium, I don't know what that is, the chapter house, the yard, and the old workshop, though no one uses that old shed anymore. I leave it to you to decide where to go first. Okay, nice. Visiting the Poor Clares, alright. That goes to the convent country yard. Oh hey, Margaret is here. Hello Margaret, it's Magdalene. Oh Magdalene, God bless you. You don't normally come to the convent alone. What brings you here? Not that you're not welcome, of course. It's always wonderful to have visitors. I had some spare time and thought I would say hello. Oh, well, hello. Haha. It is good to hear your voice, though. I enjoy it when outsiders visit the convent. Do you miss the outside world much, sister? Yes, sometimes. I miss the other Benedictine sisters especially. She would never admit it, but Sister Lisbeth had the most wonderful voice. I always stood next to her if I could. Lisbeth, Okay. I thought that she was Francisca. We talked to this Lisbeth as Andreas many years ago, and I thought that she was Francisca, but no. Okay, Francisca must be someone new who arrived to Tasing just recently with the Poor Clares. Why stay then? Why didn't you leave when the Benedictines left Kiersau? Truth be told, I was too frightened to leave. Kiersau is my home. I didn't like the idea of becoming accustomed to a new place. Learning the convents ins and outs was hard enough. Yeah, for a blind woman it must be pretty tough. I never went outside the convent much anyway. I know where everything is here, even if it's changed over the years. Sister Gertrude had already planned to stay too. The garden always needs tending and 2 hands make light work. Besides, I can't leave Mousefanger behind. Now that's the cat. Kiersau is a wonderful place to call home. Ah, of course, she truly is Queen of Kiersau. Oh, Mousefanger or... Well, anyway, I can't imagine how drafty and lonely the convent must have been after everyone else left. Well, Kiersau is a wonderful place to call home. Has the convent changed very much since the Poor Clares arrived? Yes, the food is simpler and some of the prayers are different, but all the chores and gardening is the same. Gertrude misses making ink for the scriptorium, but I have enjoyed learning the sisters' new customs. Speaking of which, I should probably return to my chores. Of course, sister. Apologies for interrupting. Not at all, Magdalene. God bless you. Okay, so this is the convent kitchen. Well, might as well check the kitchen. This is the kitchen. There's not anything that interesting here. Well, yeah, it's just a kitchen after all. Sister Mary and Sister Jezebel take care of most of the kitchen duties, but everyone pitches in when needed. Okay, so these are new nuns. And the aqueducts are right below this grate, I think. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, sister. How goes the cooking? As well as the Lord wills it. My old fingers fumble from time to time, but it is my privilege to prepare supper for the other sisters. That's very noble of you. Shouldn't someone else be helping you, sister? Well, that's very noble of you. Just as God gave Paul a thorn in his side, so too did he give me the pains of age to strengthen my faith. Such things are a blessing when compared to the pains Christ carried upon the cross. Yeah, I can imagine. I don't believe the Lord wants us to suffer, sister. But didn't Christ die so that we don't have to suffer unnecessarily? In the next life, yes, but even Christ said we would face hardships while we live on this earth. I have chosen to find meaning and devotion to the Lord through my hardship. Thank you for sharing your perspective with me, sister. You are most welcome, child. God bless you. And how about Marie? God bless you, child. Are you delivering something? No, sister, I'm learning more about the convent's history so that I can finish a mural in town. Oh, I'm considering joining the convent, so Mother Francisca graciously allowed me to visit with you. Well, let's just be honest. Oh, I see. This kitchen has been used for decades, longer than I have been alive, to be sure. I enjoy preparing meals for the sisters that nourish us, but I can never bring myself to butcher the animals. Sister Isabel has graciously taken on that task for me. We need sustenance, but I feel butchering any animal is wrong according to the rule of Saint Francis. Saint Francis, mystic, friar, and founder of the Franciscan order. Born in Assisi to wealthy parents, Saint Francis was called to a life of poverty and preaching. With his follower, Saint Clare, he helped found the order of Poor Clares. And the rule. The Rule of Saint Benedict of Nursia is a book of instructions for monks living together under the guidance of an abbot. Written in the 6th century, the rule provides the principles for living a monastic life. Yeah, okay. To cause suffering to any living creature is unnecessary and evil, even if God granted Adam and Eve dominion over the animals. The kitchen seems fairly simple. Is there anything here from the convent's founding days? No more than the structure itself, I'm afraid. Cookware needs replacing over the years. Though some nights a ghost appears to me by the cook fire, a lost spirit, trapped between heaven and hell. Sister Marie, not this again. Not to Magdalene, please. Could it have been a ghost of one of the sisters from the founding of the convent? Maybe even Saint Tassia? Sure. If it was, she has never said a word to me, though I fell prostrate in prayer before her. The spirit, whoever it is, rose up through the ground at vigils. Dawn and dusk are the hours when the boundaries between this world and the spiritual world are weakest. We may be the newest arrivals here, but this convent is very old. Perhaps there was something Roman underneath this foundation centuries before. Yeah, like I checked, the aqueducts. The spirit may seek to know the presence of God now that it rests on holy ground. A spirit in Kiersau. Why would it come to the convent, though? A Roman spirit might be a great addition to the mural. I don't know that the council would approve though. I really think it must have been something else, sister. Well, a spirit in Kiersau? It breaks my heart to think this spirit was crying out for help, trapped beyond heaven's reach. Why don't we keep going, Magdalene? It's better not to get Sister Mary too upset. Of course. God bless you, sister. God bless you, child. Okay, and there's nothing else here. I mean, after all, it's just a kitchen. So let's move on, and we can enter the garden there, but let's get into the country yard. Brr, it's colder today. There's not much in the yard that could help you, I think. Anything that was here has long been covered in weeds. All I know about this place is that the walls were added when the convent was built onto the monastery. Oh, God bless you, Sister Benedicta. Sister Suzanne, God bless you. Ah, this ice is horrid. Do I recognize you, Sister Benedicta? I think I've seen you in town once or twice. Yes, you would have seen her. Sister Benedicta is the youngest of the sisters. Mother Francisca allows only one sister to deal with the townsfolk. Benedicta received this privilege. Burden, more like. I have to run around. I have to run around everywhere, gathering all the food and doing all the chores. I'd rather be inside where it's warm. What are you doing up in the convent anyway? I'm considering joining the Poor Clares, actually. Mother Francisca said I could look around. Snooping. Mother Francisca said I could look around. Oh, well, don't let me get in the way then. Actually, Sister Benedicta, I wanted to ask you some questions. Do you like being a nun? Oh yes, I don't mind it at all. It's far quieter than home, and I don't have to share my bed with my siblings anymore. I like to help the older sisters, and I don't mind the chores, except when it's cold like this. One more question, Sister Benedicta. Have you seen any mysterious figures or ghosts lately? Ghosts? No, everything has been normal recently. I haven't noticed anything odd. Is this about Sister Mary's ghost? I think it's Mauritius himself. I think it's Mauritius myself. Oh no. So there is a ghost in the abbey? I'm sorry, who? Mauritius. That sounds like a Roman name. Don't tell me Mother Francisca. Don't tell Mother Francisca about this. But I found an old book about Christian legends hidden in the workshop. It said that a Roman commander named Mauritius conquered Tassing, but the colony failed. Most of the town was empty until Christian refugees found the town hidden in the valley. It was a miracle. Christian refugees? I wonder if this is a different retelling of Saint Moritz saving Tassing. Oh, maybe. I don't remember if the book mentioned any saints. The Latin was hard to read. Anyway, when Sister Marie said she saw a ghost, I thought it must be Mauritius trying to get us out. A Roman ghost couldn't be happy about this tower being turned into an abbey, could he? What did you do with this book, sister? Oh, well... I had it with me in the kitchen one day, and I, accidentally laid the fire poker on it. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh my god, it must be completely destroyed. Stare in shock and horror. Sister Benedicta. I tried to fix it, but it's unreadable now. Sorry, Magdalene. That's alright, that book would probably have gone unread otherwise. I'm glad you were enjoying it. I suppose it's better than the book got some use before it was lost forever. I mean, how could... Oh, never mind. Well, I suppose it's better than the book got some use before it was lost forever, or... Well, that's alright. That book would probably have gone unread otherwise. I'm glad you were enjoying it. Besides, that story gives me ideas for the Rathouse mural. Thanks for telling me about the book, sister. I won't tell Mother Francisca. God bless you, sister. Haha, thanks, Magdalene. God bless you. Okay, is there anything else? I guess not, so I guess we go to the convent art studio. This should be interesting. The workshop is covered in dust. Yes, this was the Benedictine sisters' workshop. They used to make badges and art for pilgrims coming to see the Hand of St. Moritz. It looks like everything was just left here after the fire. Nothing's been used in years. We can't subsist on painting, and the Poor Clares don't produce goods for sale, so we have no reason to be in here. But art allows us to find beauty in life. Even Christ said the Father clothed the lilies of the field in beauty. Just because art isn't essential to survival means you can't do any kind of painting? That sounds horrible. Surely you have thought of sneaking in and creating something, right? But art allows us to find beauty, even in life. Even Christ said the Father clothed the lilies of the field in beauty. I agree, but that's not the rule of the Poor Clares. Mother Francisca considers art a temptation into hedonism. Mother Francisca doesn't let us come in here, unless to put something in storage. I have come in a few times and noticed some of the brushes have gone missing. Paint pots too. You think one of the sisters is secretly painting? I wouldn't be surprised if the twins managed to sneak their way in. You think it's the ghost Sister Mary was talking about? Well, you think one of the sisters is secretly painting? Oh Lord, no. We all live in too close together in the convent for something like that to go unnoticed. In any case, I think it's sad the workshop is left like this. Truthfully, Magdalene, I don't think you should join the convent, even if that's not what you were here to do anyway. Gertrude talks about you, and you seem to love your art. Without it, you would hate it here. Well, thanks for understanding what we have here. Such valuable paint, left to dry and crack on the palettes. What's this? There's an old parchment scrap here. It's different from the others. It looks like a scrap from a manuscript. There's something written in Latin in the margin. It says, "The Mitharium of Tasing had been destroyed by a flood." Ah, Mitharium. Mitharium. That's the same word I saw in the Roman section of the mine. Wait, this might be from the book Sister Benedicta found. I wonder why it would mention the Mitharium. Why would someone have written that in the margin of a manuscript? And where is the rest of the book? I wonder why it would mention the Mitharium. I don't know. It's not a word I have ever heard before. There's certainly nothing in the convent by that name. Well, the note says the Mitharium was destroyed, so I suppose it doesn't matter much now. So what is Mitharium anyway? It looks like a chamber with water in it. Was it like a bathhouse, maybe? Maybe even a bathroom? Okay, nothing else in here apparently. Oh wait, what's here? These old badges are beautiful. I hope the pilgrims who bought them love them too. Shame that I can't tell, because they are so small. Okay, well, guess we go back inside here. And what about on this side? Convent Locuarium. Here's the Locuarium. Most of the abbey's visitors come in here, but aren't allowed to enter. We aren't allowed to go into the outside world either. Like Mother Francisca said, isolation is part of our vows. Sister Gertrude once told me the old Benedictine sisters used to go out into town sometimes and even talk to men on occasion. Yeah, like Andreas. And I'm stuck here, staring at these walls for the rest of my life. Are you unhappy here, Sister Suzanne? Well, what are we thinking? It doesn't seem like Sister Suzanne thinks much of her life here. I can't blame her. It must seem like a boring life to her. Well, I can't blame her. Even so, she doesn't seem to have the passion that Sister Gertrude and the others have. If she hates her life here so much, maybe I should encourage her to leave the order. She must have chosen to stay here for some reason. Maybe I should encourage her in her vocation. Well, she must have chosen to stay here for some reason. Maybe I should encourage her in her vocation. Let's see if we can do that. Even I have had days when I never wanted to be a printer again. Maybe I can help her see the joys of monastic life again. I don't want to overstep my bounds, though. You didn't always want to be a Poor Clares, sister? Do you regret your choice to become a sister? Are you unhappy here, Sister Suzanne? I don't know. My father promised me to the church as a baby. Some oath he swore when my mother struggled in her pregnancy. So there I was, dropped into the Poor Clares the summer I turned 17. And they took you in just like that? Nobody asked what you wanted? I'm so sorry, no one should be forced into a life they don't want. Is it becoming a nun an honor? Nobody asked what you wanted? Why should they? The Poor Clares rely on the offerings of others, even their children, to subsist. My family is devoted to the church. I have only been in the convent for 2 years, but I'm trying my best. I don't mind the prayers or the hours, and I'm sure of my devotion to the Lord, but this isn't what I wanted. But since when did a woman ever get what she wanted without being punished? Eve couldn't even manage it. Yeah, that's a good point. We can only do the best we can. I pray that one day it'll be different. I understand. I have more autonomy to go where I want, but I'm still bound by the expectations of marriage and homemaking. Yeah. I remember the days of running around town. I wish I could have gotten married. I wanted to be a mother. Sometimes I get jealous of Sister Gertrude and even Sister Margaret. Oh yeah, the blind woman. But why, they're not married. At least they got to see something of the outside world before they were 20. Well, I'm not sure about Margaret's case because she's blind. But then again, I don't know when she was blind, or was she blind since birth. I think she went blind over time. Hey, you are protected here from the plague and the Protestant rebels. It's a good life. Why don't you leave? I think you're lucky. You don't have to deal with deal with boys. If you could do anything else, what would it be? Don't forget Matilda and Voslav. They used to be part of Kiersau too. Yes. Oh yeah, them too. Thanks for listening, Magdalene. Anyway, let me show you the rest of the cloister. Let on. Okay, is there anything else here? I guess not. Don't they have a library or something here? Convent chapel. What does that say? Well, it's in Latin, so I can't really tell. I can recognize some word or two, but... This is a chapel where we all gather for Mass and liturgy. It's the oldest part of the convent. And the most drafty. Hello again, Sister Gertrude. The sisters have done some minor retouches over the years, but it has represented the abbey from its earliest days. Oh, there's the tower and the library. The cloister is still being constructed here. Yes, the tower was a bergrift. I don't know what that word means. Well, let's check it out now. Bergfried. A freestanding defensive tower, not built for permanent habitation. Ah, okay. Long before the structure became a monastery. The duchy gifted it to the Benedictine order after the Holy Roman Empire grew. They had no use for it as a keep. These walls have protected Tassing from attacks of spirit and steel for generations. A noble history, comparable to Aeneas's Fountain of Rome, truly. I thought it was Romulus who founded Rome. There's some Latin here too, but I can't read it very well. Well, a noble history. Haha, I don't know about that, Magdalene, but it certainly was an endeavor to construct this place. There's some Latin here too, but I can't read it very well. God called Lady Sabine to lead our sisters and brothers in 1261. Lord Kiersau's castle was destroyed by fire in the year of the death of Emperor Frederick II. Only the tower remained. Thank you, Sister Suzanne. Yes, the first lists the abbey's founding date. The Lady Kiersau was actually the one to suggest the old castle be turned into a double monastery. We added the second shortly after the revolt. Mother Illuminata thought it would be fitting. Even if the sisters were not here, some record of what occurred would remain. Kiersau is unique, a double monastery with 2 saints, 1 male and 1 female, to guard the town and abbey. So the foundation of the abbey was even older than the whole Roman Empire. It seems odd that a monastery would reuse a place meant for war and force. Fascinating to think that even before the Duke gifted it to the church, the fortification was founded by Saint Moritz. So the foundation of the abbey was even older than the Holy Roman Empire. Many things have been built and torn down on this land over generations. Who knows what else used to be here? You were right, sister. This mural will be a great reference for the rat house. Then I'm glad to have helped. God bless you, Magdalene. Well, you have seen the entire convent. There's not much here. So you don't have any records room or anything like that. What do you think of it? I understand the appeal of such a small life. It offers its own freedoms from the world, even if I'm not drawn to it. I can see why people choose the holy life, but it's not for me, not without art. To be honest, it seems like a life of drudgery. Well, I can't live without art. I understand. You have dedicated your whole life to your work. You would struggle to give that up now. It's been so long since I have spoken to anyone from outside the convent. I'm reminded of the life I once had. Now you have me thinking about whether or not I should remain with the sisters. I think you should stay, I think you should go. I don't want to say any of this. I just want to say something like, I can't make that decision for you, or something like that. Maybe you should go. Discussed how Matilda and Voslav left Kiersau. How's that a bad thing? Your family just left you here. You don't owe the sisters anything. I do, though. The sisters have taken care of me. They love me and I love them. Well, good for you. Even if this life wasn't my choice, they accepted me. Who knows? Maybe it will get better in time. Maybe. I'll try to help in any way I can, even if it's just sneaking around the convent well to say hello. Really? That would be wonderful, so long as no one found out. Maybe then don't talk about it next to Sister Gertrude. Anyway, we should return to Mother Francisca before she suspects something. I learned a lot today. Thank you for showing me around the convent. I didn't learn as much as I had hoped for the mural, but I'm glad I have got to meet you. Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. No, thank you, Magdalene. Today has been more interesting than any I can remember in the abbey. Come, let's find Mother Francisca. She'll be wanting to hear what you thought of the place. Well, Magdalene, what is your assessment of the Poor Clares? Is the good Lord calling you to a life with us as a sister? I am compelled by the devoted life the sisters lead, Mother Francisca, but I'm afraid I must tend to my father first. I think I prefer my books and printing, and in any case, I need to finish the mural, then I might take over for my father. Well, I hadn't thought about my holy duty of providing children to a husband, and I just can't give that up so soon. Well, I think I prefer my books and printing, and in any case I need to finish the mural, and then I need to take care of my father. I see. Be careful that this mural does not become an idol for you, Magdalene. Just as Eve had a weaker will than Adam, you are liable to stumble on the fruit of temptation as well. Our community is quite modest compared to the splendor of an old Benedictine house, operating under the rule of a powerful abbot. I see why fewer women are drawn to the order these days. Thank you for allowing me inside. You are most welcome, Magdalene. God bless you. Magdalene, how did your little expedition go? I learned a lot from seeing the abbey. I have a good idea what I'll depict in the mural now. Well, I learned about the Poor Clares, but not as much about the history of the abbey as I wanted. I'm frustrated that there is so little left of the old abbey and saints. I guess we could say that we learned a lot, especially from the mural. I think I have an idea what to depict in the mural now. But sister, there is something I don't understand. The abbey was so prosperous. Why didn't the monks rebuild it after the fire? That's a good question. Maybe because they just didn't want to stay anymore, considering the rebellion and how they were almost burned alive. What a task that would be. The chapel was beautiful. The stained glass always caught my eye in the mornings. There was a great deal of anger and sadness in Ta Sing that night. The abbot felt the brothers and sisters were no longer welcome in Ta Sing and moved on. In truth, the abbey's dissolution was inevitable. Kiersau was running out of money and patrons. The riot and fire were simply a particularly awful and painful way to end the monastery. Did anything survive the fire? Some of the buildings are intact, but are all terribly overgrown. I haven't dared forage in the rubble. I doubt you would find anything of help for your mural inside, other than charred wood and parchment. That's a shame. It might still be worth taking a look if I'm careful. The twins have explored all sorts of dangerous places. I'm sure the abbey isn't so bad. If only we could ask them for help. Maybe in my second playthrough. It might still be worth taking a look if I'm careful. I worry after you sometimes, Magdalene. I really do. Thank you for all your help, Sister Gertrude. You are most welcome, Magdalene. God bless you. Okay, and some time passes. Alright, so we are done here. Mugwort is always useful for colds and fevers. Okay. It might not be as powerful as when we gather it on St. John's Eve, but it should still work. Okay, well, how long have I been playing? Well, that was, I don't know, I did learn more about the founding of Kiersau. And that illustration from the manuscript, the Mytharium, it was like the one in the mine. Is it part of the history of the Abbey? Of Ta Sing? It must be written down somewhere. If only the library hadn't burned down with everything in it. Yeah, god damn you, Peter, for burning it for no reason. The ruins are right there. Maybe not everything was destroyed. I was thinking about leaving the exploration of this church, Abbey here for the next episode. But how long have I been playing? I think I've been playing about anywhere between 50 minutes and an hour. So yeah, I'm gonna end this episode here. And in the next episode, we are gonna venture inside the church here and search anything that has survived the fire from the rubble. Anything that can help us to learn more about the history of Kiersau Abbey. So, until then. Thank you for watching once again, and see you next time for more Pentiment.